Alright, yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in this thing, baby. Representing Team Kings of Games. And I'm actually going to be updating my onesie pajama prank kid babies, my little Yu-Gi-Oh! Teletubbies. To be honest, this deck was always fire. Like, even before Meow Meow came out, this deck is fire. I've been playing it for around 2 years. I've actually got some regional tops with it. And it's always been a strong deck. Like, what I valued about it the most was its recursive engine. The level of consistency that it had even before was pretty fair. Poly+2 pranks and the builds that I've had on my YouTube channel were very consistent. And its ability to generate advantage on your turn and on your opponent's turn, consistent interruptions and like constant follow-ups generating so many pluses, it's very overwhelming for a lot of decks. And when your engine is also recursive, in the terms that you can keep doing this over and over and over, you've already got yourself a really strong deck. But now it has room for hand traps and tech cards because your combos don't need to be 3 cards, they're actually 1 card. That makes a huge difference. I do recommend that you do play extenders for when you don't draw optimally, like a fusion spell and a couple prank kids. But if you're just working with the bare bones 1 card combo, you need to have hand traps to combo through Skullmeister or Ash Blossom or Cypher Gear Gamma, and that's what I have in my list, keeping that in mind. And cards to help you to combo through Nibiru or play around it, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my list. I'll get deeper into the card choices just to explain interactions that I was trying to play around. I built my deck to counter the staples that I'm pretty sure I'm going to see, like especially cards like Triple Tactics Talent, and also I also kept in mind like representation of what decks are popular and trending right now, and knowing my matchups helps me out to play this deck better. And I do believe that this deck does need a good pilot. You can't just pick this deck up, look up on YouTube, learn some combos, and think that you're just going to become a prank kid player. This deck is not as easy as it looks like because it is very rewarding when you pilot it correctly, but when you're greedy, you get punished all the time, bro. Like, this is a deck that you don't need to get greedy with because it already gives you so much, even when you're playing around hand traps, playing through interruptions. So I definitely recommend when you're playing this, you play as if your opponent has the hand trap that absolutely stops your turn. You play as if your opponent has every answer, and that will help you to pilot this deck more correctly. If you're playing as if you're just playing solitaire, you're going to be punished a lot because I don't know any decks that are not main decking hand traps right now, to my knowledge, that I'd be running against. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the list because it is really crazy. Like, this deck is crazy. It is. Like, you can combo through Ash, Gamma, and Nibiru in the same turn. You can combo through multiple interruptions going second. The deck is crazy. Like, what you can combo through is nuts just based on your card choices. And not a lot of decks can combo through that. This deck can virtually combo through the same cards that Infernoble and Dragon Link can combo through. And when you can put that on pen and paper and just consider that, you know that you have a good deck. So let's go ahead and drop down my prank kids, my babies. We've got 3 copies of Fansies, Young, Wild, and Free. Fansies, in my opinion, is the best prank kid as well. He's what lets you combo through Imperm or Veiler on your doodle, because you can just dump the card you were going to search off doodles, make a second doodle, and add it back, which is really cool. So your 1-card combo already plays through Ash and Veiler. I mean, not Ash, but Veiler and Imperm and Knighted. And when you already consider that, your 1-card combo is resilient. So, like, when you think of a 1-card combo like in Dragon Link, for example, like if all they have is Black Metal or all they have is Safer and that's it, they will still lose to a Veiler. They need an extender. When you think about a 1-card combo like Infernoble, for example, maybe not Imperm, I mean, maybe not Veiler, but Imperm, like if they have no extenders and just the 1-card combo, and you have an Imperm, they have like Dolphin or Connector plus Dolphin, for example, they look at your hand, it doesn't matter, you Imperm them, and they have no extender, they can't play through the Imperm. But with this deck, you don't need any extenders to play through an Imperm or Veiler. So already considering that, your 1-card combo is the most resilient 1-card combo, because there's really no 1-card combo I can think of that does not lose to a single hand trap without requiring an extender. And I think the 1-card combo in this deck is better than any other one because it offers the most longevity. Even if it doesn't completely prevent your opponent from playing, which I mean double Raigeki or Raigeki Featherstorm is pretty strong, it carries you for the rest of the duel. You don't really need to worry about comboing off again unless your opponent completely breaks your board and leaves you with no follow-ups. But anyways, with that in mind, just going to continue. I just kind of wanted to share that because I do think it is the best 1-card combo in the game right now. And obviously, I max out on all of them. I wouldn't cut any of my babies. Dropsies, as I've explained in other profiles, I think he's like a crybaby. He's in the closet, but they're not going to snitch on each other. This is my angry Super Saiyan right here, the Super Saiyan triplets. And then Roxy's is all about fun, baby. And I am playing 5 more honorary prank kids in the form of 3 plays. I don't like when people cut place to 2 because this is a problem-solving card. This card already helps you to play around negates like Warlord Savage, cards like Dragoon. This card helps you to play around Dolka. You know, stuff like that is really important to me. And it forces Ash Blossom out going second, because if your opponent has a monster, they'll have to Ash this. Otherwise, Ash diminishes in its value in the forms of interaction. It kind of just, it'll stop a play that almost makes the Ash so incremental that you kind of just went neg, because you traded 1 for 1, but at the same time, you're still just going to be able to add 2 from your graveyard off Doodle and get the search off of Doodle as well. So you go like +3 under an Ash Blossom if they don't Ash the place. But if they Ash the place, you baited the Ash, and all you need to do now is just normal summon a Prankid. And you'll still keep chain blocking, which is really cool. Then I do play the Optimus Prime. And also keep in mind that the attack, degradation, and enhancement are permanent. I've had 3,700 attack, totally awesomes. I've had Battle Butler at like 4,500. Keep that in mind, because you can increase your own Nibiru tokens, you can increase your own Nibiru. If the token you gave them is too big for whatever reason, you can decrease that. Chain blocking with this shrinks Dragoon to make him easier to manage as well. That's why this card's so good against Dragoon, because you can still just beat over it. So I just don't like when people play any less than 3, because this card's a problem-solving card, so I play 4. And then the 1-for-1, I'm not on Set Rotation or Plant. Not that those cards are bad. I've pretty much played them in almost every list up to date. I just needed room for more tech cards and hand traps that help me to combo when I only have 1 prank kid. This Poly is only good with 2 pranks, you already know. In the terms of just comboing through hand traps. 1-for-1 is nuts. I do think that prank kid players should be running this. Like, this card really is nuts. Like, it's crazy. Like, you can actually, if you open 1-for-1, a monster to discard for it, and a prank kid, you can make totally awesome in the middle of your combo. And when you're comboing through cards like Dryden, Chu-Chi, Dogmatica, Punishment, this card is crazy. Like, it's nuts. Like, you want to activate this first, because people will be scared to Ash Blossom it, because they want to hold their Ash for your normal summon. It's very similar to, like, Tinky and Barrage in the Zoo matchup. You don't want to Ash the Tinky or the Barrage, because you, like, have this strong feeling that they already have a Zoo in their hand. So typically you want to activate 1-for-1 first instead of holding it as an extender, because then if you normal Zoom it gets popped by Dryden, Chu-Chi, or Punishment, you activate this, they're going to Ash it because it looks like an extender. But when you activate it first, it looks like a starter. So just by changing the order of your cards, you're less likely to be Ash Blossom, because they will more than likely on summon basically like Dryden pop. And that kind of just helps you, because if you have place, now you can chain block around the Ash, which is really cool. So anyways, 1-for-1 just helps you to combo through certain interactions and interruptions. Just really, really strong. And obviously it is an extender. It's a superior extender, so I'm going to move it over to this pile of cards right here. And speaking of extenders, let's go and get into it. So as you guys see, I play 17 prank kids. I like it because whenever I draw a fusion spell, I want to see 2 prank kids, obviously. That helps me to combo through Lord knows how many hand traps. It's crazy what this deck can play through and still set up so many pluses. When you're hand trapping this deck, and this deck has an optimal hand, consider your hand traps all as just neg 1s and 2s. Like, you have to open very specific. And to be honest, I think like you would need a card like Ghost Spell. It works better against this deck, but it sucks against other decks. And that's like just my knowledge on this deck. I know what hand traps are good against it, and to be honest, like with certain sequencing, Nibiru doesn't work. Even if you have Nibiru plus another hand trap, it won't really work. And you can actually combo through Ash, Gamma, and Nibiru in the same turn, which is crazy. It's crazy. So, moving forward, we're playing 3 copies of Pandemonium, 3 copies of Polymerization. I am proxying 1 Thunder Dragon Fusion. That's what the King of Swamps is here for. And I'll explain why I only play 1. 3 copies of Parallel Xe. This goes in the category of extenders. 1 World Legacy Succession. This card's nuts. I don't know why prank kid players don't play it. 1 Monster Reborn, Instant Fusion is probably the best extender in the deck. 1 Pranks, and then the 1-for-1 is nuts too. Oh yeah, really quickly too, before it slips my mind, there is a trap card called Furin Kazan and a spell card called Ancient Leaf. I have a deck profile on my channel running those. It's online because I don't have them in real life. But those cards, forget about them being spicy, because they are like piping hot. They are problem-solving cards. Like, those cards just are crazy. Especially Furin Kazan. It's like if Triple Tactics Talent existed before it actually came out. In the trap form, that's what it is. Furin Kazan is like literally better than Solemn Judgment. It's better than like anything you could side for going first, and I think it's nuts. I really enjoy it. I have not seen a single Prankid profile out to date that has played Fuhrer Kazan outside of mine. So you guys definitely want to check that out, and keep that in mind that I would be side decking if I had it, and I'd probably main Ancient Leaf I'd find one, because Ancient Leaf is like a pot of greed in this deck. It's crazy. Anyway, so with these cards explained, Pandemonium. Matter of fact, I need to pick up some Fuhrer Kazans, because that card is just crazy. It's like so crazy. So 3 Pandemoniums. What I like about opening this is it helps you to play through so many hand traps, especially if they have the double Veiler or the Imperm Veiler on your doodle. You have the card you wanted to search in the first place. And you can honestly just chain it to make them miss their target on the second hand trap if you really want to, just to allow this doodle to resolve if you needed access to a Prankid's place or a Pranks. But if you did it, just let them waste their hand traps and just keep comboing. So this plays through so many hand traps, it's crazy. Basically, by opening extra Prankids and fusion spells, you're going to combo through 3-4 hand traps. Like, I'm not even lying. And this card also helps when you have an extra Prankid hand. It helps to combo through Chu-Chi, Drident, Dogmatic, a Punishment, Conquistador, and the Eldritch matchup. It helps to just hit those spot removal cards against like anything that interacts with your normal summon. It's really, really strong. It just helps you to dodge so many effects. It is quick play. It's pretty flexible, and it's one of the main cards you want to have access to play on your opponent's turn. Sometimes I find myself summoning Weather Washer. I'm not going to lie. When I play Dinos, I'm just smart about it. I summon Weather Washer. I don't like summoning Battle Butler against Dinos because I know that they really can play around that card effectively. But I'll get into that when we get into that, because people think that this deck is bad against Dinos. I think that they just make bad plays against Dinos and they don't know what they're doing. I'll help you guys out in the Dino matchup by explaining what I do personally, which makes a huge difference. And I personally just think it's the better play, but we'll get there. So Pandemonium helps to play through a lot. Oh yeah, the cool thing, this card actually plays through Nibiru too. So when you summon a fresh prank off of a Prankid you resolve, and your opponent's like, alright, I'm gonna nib you. Because they, obviously, it's not smart to let you tribute doodle and add 2, and then nib you, because you have follow-ups. So now, they need to have a way to OTK you. So they'll typically nib you before you get to get a +2 or 3, but you can chain Pandemonium, fuse with the Prankid in your hand, and the freshly summoned one on field, nib, resolve, Sephron chain, you're summoning 2 more Prankids, and then you summon a fresh doodle. If one of them have them resolve, special another prank, tribute, add 2, through a nib. So this card is nuts. I'm just saying, this is why I like 3 Pandemonium. Poly is crazy in this deck as well. So comparing Poly to Thunder Dragon Fusion, dude, it's like comparing top ramen to the quality ramen. This is the top ramen, this is the quality ramen. This is Ichiraku's ramen, and then this is top ramen you buy at the grocery store. This is Ichiraku, it's way better, 100,000%. Poly lets you combo through a multitude of hand traps. Poly plus 1 Prankid lets you get an Omni Negate on top of a board wipe. Double board wipe, actually, which is crazy. So I think Poly is nuts. Even with only 1 Prankid, it's nuts. The reason why I like Poly over Thunder Dragon Fusion is it helps you to combo through interruptions, whereas Thunder Dragon Fusion does not help you to get off the ground running. It's only good when you've already started comboing, but Poly's good even if you, your normal summon gets Ash Blossom, Siphon Gear Gamma, Poly plus another Prankid in hand, you can just combo through that. Thunder Dragon Fusion, it sucks if you can't play. But if you get Nibiru, it is really good because you can just Thunder Dragon Fusion after they nib you. And that's going to get you a Battle Butler regardless, which is really strong. Outside of comboing through Nibiru, it's not really going to offer any resiliency for the major choke points of this deck, which are Ash Blossom, Gamma, and Skullmeister, or popping the normal summon, which is why Pandemonium's here, and then Poly's here to play through those. So these are problem-solving cards. When you just deeper explain them, you'll understand why you should be playing these cards. Thunder Dragon Fusion is typically just going to be sent off Verde Anaconda for when I'm comboing through hand traps that don't necessarily kill my cards. If it's a bunch of Ashes, Veilers, Imperm, Skullmeisters. If they Gamma, your normal summon is fine too. When you have enough extenders, you'd be surprised what you can combo through. And just making Verde Anaconda at the end of the day is nuts. It's what made cards like Instant Fusion really, really strong. Especially 1-for-1, because you can just resolve a prank, make a link, resolve a prank, special another one, link in a Verde, summon Battle Butler through who knows how many hand traps. So Thunder Dragon Fusion is good if you can start your combo off. But it's not like the other fusion spells where it helps you to combo through the hand traps in the first place. These are all my extenders of choice. So I played 3, 6, 8 extenders. This is just archetype specific. And it's a really, really nutty card. Pranks is crazy. It also helps when you're in the grind. When you normal summon and your normal summon combo got stopped twice, you can just put those Meow Meows back and just keep giving it a shot. The amount of times that you can draw a hand trap off this is crazy because you decked in so much in your combo. I typically use Roxy's last. Like, that's what I do. I forgot to explain that. I typically use Roxy's last because I burn through so many Prankids that I have a higher chance of drawing Hand Trap. And I also typically summon Fanzy second so I can use it to make my Doodle Doodle Doo to make that chain block better. And this card's just crazy. It's an extender. It helps you to make Doodle through Ash, Gamma, or Skullmeister. Again, just those choke points and just being able to recur your engine over and over and over. So you just never deck out with this card. Like, if you're up against Mystic Mine, they basically just like have to commit eventually because you're not going to get decked out, to be honest, like if you play this deck correctly. Anyways, so these cards are nuts. You want to explain these, right? So this helps to combo through, like if you have the 1-card combo and your opponent has Ash, Gamma, Skullmeister, or a negator like Warlord Savage, Dragoon, Arclight, anything like that, any kind of negator, right? It could be Appaloosa for all I care. Parallel Exceed lets you chain block. And also, if it's a monster negator, this card gets better because it's committing a body to field. So a Prankid plus Parallel Exceed equals a Link 4 when you really think about that. Like just Prankid, normal, Link, boom. Make a Link 2, special summon, boom, boom. And you're chain blocking all the way. You can actually make an Access Code Talker with a Prank and a Parallel Exceed in the process of chain blocking, and that means you could just start to dismantle some of your opponent's cards. If you drew the nuts and you just happen to have a fusion spell and some other Prankids after you've just cleared as much as you can clear with the Access Code Talker, you can actually combo after that. So this is a huge problem-solving card. It stops the choke point in your normal summon, and if your opponent does not have a Nibiru, you get a free Floodgate being Baguska or Abyss Dweller, which is crazy. I like Dugaris, but I'd rather have the Floodgate to stop my opponent than just get greedy. So this card is very rewarding, and the payoff for it is just worth playing. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't play this, especially if you're playing a buttload of hand traps, because I could honestly play more hand traps, but I would run into consistency issues. And it not being that I can't open the 1-card combo, just being like, I'll open the 1-card combo in like 4 hand traps, for example, because I used to play no extenders in a lot of hand traps, and anytime your opponent had Ash, Gamma, anything like that to stop the first effect of your Prankid, you typically just could not play. So I value this over 3 more hand traps, and the same with the extenders. This could be even more hand traps. So World Legacy Succession and Reborn respectively help you to combo through Ash, Gamma, Skullmeister, a negate on your summon. And this one helps you to combo through Chuchi, Dryden, Punishment, and also Conquistador. They pop your normal, you reborn it, and you can just keep playing after that. So these are superior extenders. Exceed is only good if you get your Prank, basically, like, you actually get to Link Summon. This is only good if you get to Link Summon as well, but, like, cards like Pranks do help you to still make the Meow Meow, so you could just, like, Succession. Instant Fusion's nuts. You can combo through, like, everything with this card. Not literally everything, but so much. When you draw this, you hold it to the end. You just try to force out as many hand traps as you possibly can, and then you just summon Rocket Ride at the end of the day. And the same with 1-for-1. This card's just crazy in this deck. So as you guys can see, I like the extenders because when I'm working with the bare bones 1-card combo, these extenders are better. When you're working with multiple Prankids, the fusion spells are better. So it's just, they're all problem-solving cards. And then finally, my hand traps. So I could play a lot more, but I like the ratio of extenders, fusion spells, and hand traps. Like, I like the balance. I just don't want to play 18, 20 hand traps and work on a 1-card combo. And then, ironically, I'll be losing to the same thing, hand traps, and I don't like that. So I just want to be able to combo through as much as I can, because if this deck can combo through it, the game's typically over. You would be surprised. There's no exaggeration that Battle Butler just denies people the right to play. It's just crazy. Like, when you full combo and you're playing against a deck that needs their monsters, they're going to lose. Then we have 3 Nibs. I hate drawing this card off of Pranks and Roxy's. I really hate drawing it, but it's way too high impact to not play. And since I opted to only play 12 hand traps in my main deck, I have to play the best of the best so that my game 1 is secure. You can argue all day saying Valor's better, Ogre's better because you draw out of Pranks and it's not dead. I'm not dumb. I know what Pranks does. But I also know that Valor and Ogre are not always the best cards against the decks that deny me the right from playing. I need Gamma. And because people are not really playing around Kaijus in a virtual world matchup, you just hold this to just Gamma their VFD so that you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is also really important. The same with Nib. The decks that you're worried about are definitely Virtual World, Dinos, and Infernoble, and Dragon Link. Those 4 decks in particular don't really let you play in your comfort zone, so you need these. These are higher impact, but these also help to stop choke points, because any combination of 2 of these is going to be really good against like all those decks. Ash and Gamma are crazy against Dinos. You can Ash Misk, and then you can still have Gamma as well, or you can Gamma Misk and have Ash for something else, but these are a lot better than Imperm or Nib. Because Misk denies these, but these stop Misk in the first place. So I like these hand traps. So these 12. And the game plan for when we're playing against Dinos, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. what's the timer? Like 19 minutes. So obviously I'm playing the plan. I'll tell you about the game plan against Dinos though. Funny enough, game plan. But anyways, this card is crazy. If you really feel comfortable, you can just grab this off your same 1-card combo to have the option of having Battle Butler or Rip Roaring Rooster. What I like about this in the Prankid mirror match is when they are on Mystic Mine and they commit 2 monsters to make their Rocket Ride play to attack directly, tribute it, and basically end on Bow Wow Bark so they can just keep burn looping you, is if you're smart enough, you'll get this, and you could basically make Rip Roaring Rooster while they have 2 monsters, and you say on resolution of the effect, basically, like that gets to the second monster, you go plan, link in a Rip Roaring Rooster, and you basically rip the Mystic Mine, and then if they activate a second one, you basically tribute the Rip Roaring Rooster itself to destroy the second Mystic Mine, so they need 3 Mystic Mines. So this helps in the mirror match when they're on that build. I'm not on that build. You can play it if you want, but it's not fun for me. And I still feel like Prankids are good enough. If anybody tells you that you can't win without Mystic Mine and Prankids, they're just a bad they're just a bad Prankid player. Because this deck's good enough on its own. I understand the ceiling of Mystic Mine, but I play to have fun, and I win in the process. I'm not a bad player, but also I want to have fun. If I'm just playing Mystic Mine and a slow, just poke burn strategy, it's really boring for me. I play this deck and I enjoy how it is. So getting into the extra deck, this will help to explain the game plan against Dinos. So I played 2 Meows, 2 Doodles. Sometimes I've wanted 3 of each of these, but honestly, that's what Pranks is so useful for. And then Bow Wow Bark, it's crazy. This card is just nuts. If your opponent talents and takes your Butler, your cards can't be destroyed by card effects. If they have Pengratops, Dragoon, you name it, it's really, really good. Rip Roaring Rooster, this card is nutty. I definitely recommend keep it in your main extra deck. Don't side it. 2 Rocket Rights, 1 Weather Washer. So this is what's crazy against Dinos. So this is what I do. So when you're against Dinos, people are like, oh, Miscellaneous too good. He's going to book a moon, my Battle Butler. And I say, why are you summoning Battle Butler? Think, bro. Come on now. Think about it. You know they're going to have Mist. You know they're going to book a moon this and just run everything over. Kill your whole board, right? You know that the moment you normal summon, they're going to flip it with the Conductor. Why are you playing yourself? Why are Prankid players not this is, I'm going to help you. Just think differently. Summon Weather Washer. You use your Bow Wow Bark. You get you some cards. Summon Weather Washer when you're playing against Dinos. You don't wait any until they put a negate on board. You tribute with Weather Washer. You bring out the Bow Wow Bark and the Doodle Doodle Doo. These cannot be destroyed by card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by battle. So now what happens is Conductor cannot send these to the grave because they can't be sent because they're not in defense. They can be destroyed by battles, and they're going to be pretty beefy. If you have Prankid's place, it's even better because you're shrinking and increasing, which is really, really strong. And keep in mind, these will probably be on 35 and 25. They'll attack, do as much damage as they can. Next turn, you link these in the Access Code Talker effect to gain. In your battle phase, attack over Conductor. Don't play yourself with Miscellaneous Source. Main phase 2, use the Access Code to pop whatever other problematic monsters. Unless they have Pengratops, that's the only time it's different. But if they don't, you could just kill the Conductor and the Doka, which is really, really strong. You just pop the Doka in main phase 2 because it's not a dinosaur, so it's not protected by Mist. You out their whole board. Just by leaving these on field, you break the whole Dino board next turn. And UCT can't do anything about this because they're links. He can't book them. So you're getting free access code, and you're just gonna out their board. And then you can set up your Battle Butler. Then it's probably more safe because typically they're just using a follow-up Miscellaneous Source from Grave. But even then, sometimes you just want to recur this and just keep doing that because it's really, really strong. So this is giving you a better chance. And if you're super confident that they don't have Mist, you could just access code in main phase, so that way you can OTK. You only want to jump in the battle phase to attack over Conductor if they have Mist, because you don't want to waste the pop on access code and still just be looking at the Conductor. But if you're confident they don't have Mist, make access code, pop their board, and then OTK them. Don't let them get another turn. That's how you beat Dinos, by literally just summoning Weather Washer instead of Battle Butler. Bro, listen to me. I'm telling you. And I'm just helping you guys out because it's just a smarter play. I believe it's the correct play. You can argue all day, but I think my play's better than summoning this and just having it get set and then attacked over. But those are all the Prankids. Then I'm on Verde for the Thunder Dragon Fusion. Ningirsu, just non-targeting, non-destruction removal is really important. And then Access Code. This is what's nuts against Dinos. You know, that same play with Weather Washer is crazy. Baguska and Dweller are the Floodgate Reinforce of choice. Sometimes this is better. I'm on the fence of which one's better against Dinos, but these are really good against the meta right now. This card's crazy against combo. Any combo deck, it's crazy against, except maybe Virtual Worlds. Dweller's a little bit better to stop Chuchi, Nian Yan. and Qing Long, and also Shin Shin. This might be better, but that's why I like having both, because these respectively both can end turns depending on the matchup. And then we have this card's crazy, totally awesome. It's just fire. This card is so nuts. So now moving to the side deck, and I wish I had Furin Kazans, but I'm playing 3 Their Community ones and Skill Drain. This deck can play under these comfortably. With Skill Drain, it's really cool how Skill Drain works. It's anytime you can get your card to tribute itself for cost, removing it from the field, it is no longer being negated by Skill Drain. So every single Prankid, Link, and Fusion monster minus Meow Meow work under Skill Drain, which is nuts. They will all get their effects. So you can just play under Skill Drain. The only thing you're losing is basically this search off Doodle, but you can obviously use Fansies to dump the card you want to search, tribute Doodle to add it. So Skill Drain is just like a win con of this deck that doesn't hurt you. Same with There Can Be Only One. You just play smart, and you just really make sure that if you want to summon Battle Butler, that you're not summoning Fansies, because obviously Battle Butler's a Thunder. If you want to summon Doodles, you're not summoning Fansies. If you want to summon Bow Wow, you're not using Lampsies. It's that simple. If you want to summon the Meow Meow, you're not summoning Roxy's, so that you're not restricting yourself. And that's how you play under Their Community one. And this card beats the decks that you normally would lose to. Infernoble, Dragon Link, Dinos, Virtual World to an extent, but I don't like Floodgates against them because Chuchi is crazy, and if they open it, you just lose your Floodgate. So against those other 3, it's really good. It's just, like, people just lose to this card already by itself. But when they find a way to out it, you still have a Raigeki and a Feather Duster or a double Raigeki waiting for them, and a multitude of hand traps. And then I'm on 3 Lancia. It's another problem-solving card for one of your worst matchups. 3 Evenlies. This card's crazy. I don't know who would inside it. Against Zoos and Virtual Worlds and against Dinos, unless they give you a Lost World token, this is really, really strong. Against Dogmatica, Zodiac, it's really, really strong. Dogmatica, Zodiac, or Zodiac Eldritch. Against Invoked Dogmatica, this card's crazy. It's just so good, this format. I don't know why people aren't signing it. And then the 3 Twins, just like out cards like Mystic Mind, etc. Pankratops and Reboot. I like Twin over Cyclone because it hits 2. You can play more back removal if you want, but like honestly, the decks that I know that are main deck in Mystic Mind are Dinos and Prankkids. And just with the knowledge I have in those matchups, you can actually get away with it in your main deck. It just depends if you're being caught off guard. But obviously, when you know you're playing those, you actually want to make sure that you summon the Rip Roaring Rooster. So you can also summon this on your first turn. It's crazy. You want to summon this so that when they commit to the mine, you just banish Meow Meow to pop it, so that if they have a second mine, you can out the mine. So just by playing your first turn correctly, because they can't obviously Mystic Mind on their first turn unless they're playing Prankkids, and at that case, you don't summon a monster so that you don't get put under mine yourself. You let them out their own mind to play, and basically, you're going to build enough resources to where if they're just like, oh, I have the life point advantage, I'm just going to sit on mine for 40 minutes and they're going to be that person, you'll have enough resources, you'll more than likely just draw into plan, you're under mine. You have enough resources to just go Pandemonium on their turn, and immediately on the resolution of all of your Prankkids effects, link with the Butler and the other 3 Prankkids and the Rip Roaring Rooster. So now if they're like, I commit, you're like, Roaring Rooster out the mine. And that's how you play around mine in the Prankkids mirror match. You don't commit a monster, you don't let them resolve their Bow Wow Bark, leave them under mine, build your resources, and then you're going to play a crazy game. But anyways, Jesus loves you, God bless you guys. I'm signing out. Deuces.